Hi everyone and welcome to another build by Kennie. So this build was actually voted for on my Instagram, which you can check out by following the link in the description, or alternatively it's just SimKennyYT. So feel free to follow that and subscribe. Just gonna plug it there. I post little updates of builds that don't make it into videos there, as well as little sneak previews of builds that do make it into videos there. So basically, my subscribers / followers voted on a modern starter home, and this is what we have here. So this starter home is actually ready to go for you to move in if you have 2 adults and 2 children. I know the money amount does change depending on how many Sims you have, but this is the family that I started with. It was 2 parents and 2 twin daughters. So it's a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath house with an open plan living room, kitchen, diner area. And I do sneak in a little office in there as well. And I'm really happy with the way this house actually turned out. It's part of my trying to build up Newcrest thing. Mainly for me, I might do it as a save file, but mainly it's just doing it for me, just because I did it a while ago. Actually, I rebuilt the whole of Newcrest and made it all like modern Scandinavian and kind of got rid of that save file. So doing it all again. The main colours that I've kind of gone for in this house are a lot of blues, mainly because recently I've been obsessing over those cheap sofas. I saw James use them and I was like, these are cool. I'm not sure if I actually mentioned that in my last build or not. Also, as you can see there on screen, that is a red shelf. I'm sure you would have heard loads of Sims YouTubers talk about it, but basically it's a custom content object that lets you place things on objects without a gap that you wouldn't normally be able to place there, and it's super handy. And when you actually download the build, it doesn't show up as any custom content, and there isn't any custom content in this build. But you've just got to make sure that you've got move objects turned on, and the code for that is bb.moveObjects. Otherwise things will sink to the floor and you'll have to raise them up again, but that should stop it doing it. But I'm sure you've heard it all before from other Sims YouTubers, so I'm probably not the first person to discover this for you. Just using those base game counters there as well. I do use quite a few packs in this build. I can't remember how many, but I'll mention it in the description below if you do want to download this off the gallery. And my gallery ID is SunshineVita. I'll link that down in the description, or alternatively, you can just search for my builds using the hashtag KennyYT on the gallery, and a lot of them should be there, or at least they should link you to my profile where you'll be able to see more of them. So as you can see there, we've just done the living room, the kitchen and the dining area. I do end up taking a while to decide on what sofa I actually want in the dining area. And I used a lot of bowling day stuff in this build, just because it's probably one of the only modern furnishing packs that we've had. So I quite enjoy a lot of the stuff that came with that. I feel like a lot of it is kind of suburban, blue American, blue suburban, basically just like comfortable furniture and not that modern, and a lot of the base game stuff. So this comes in super handy. Moving on to the twins' bedrooms now. I did initially pull out those beds, but I felt like they just weren't quite working for me in this house. I love that metal frame bed, but the pink was just a little bit too brash on it, so I ended up going with the City Living grey and pink beds, which I think are so cute. And instead of giving the children 2 separate sort of like desks to do their homework in, I just got a dining room table and put 2 chairs against that, so they've kind of got a joint working space, which I find really weird that we've got like different slots for tables and desks. Yeah, strange. Food for thought. In the master bedroom, I initially pulled out those little side tables that have the trunks on them, or suitcases, whatever you call them. However, I feel like if you have 2 of them, it looks weird. and I couldn't really quite find a side table to go along with them nicely. So I ended up using those fitness stuff side tables instead. Actually, yeah, fitness stuff is another pack that came with a lot of modern stuff, and I do actually like a lot of the fitness pack stuff. Never played with the actual fitness objects in it. Same with bowling. I've never played bowling in The Sims. I might have to just go and make a bowling alley and play with it, just because I've never done it before. The master bedroom I do end up keeping quite simple. It's just a wardrobe, bed, 2 side tables, and a mirror with some decoration. A lot of this build is actually quite simple. I didn't over clutter it or anything. There's some nice rugs in it, which I like. I found a lot of cool rugs with city living stuff, and I can't remember where that one in the lounge room came from, but it is a really, really nice rug. In terms of the exterior of the build, it's mainly wood cladded with a couple of stone elements. I do a little bit of landscape at the front and a bit here, but I didn't manage to do any at the back, mainly because I ended up actually running out of money. Because I did want this house to feel nice and not be super basic and tiny, even though it's a starter home. But that did mean that I didn't really have any money to spend on the outside of the house. So if you do download this build and end up playing in it, you can always either cheat, or you can go out, get a job, and build the rest of the house up. I was having a real issue with this column here. It just did not want to place where I wanted it to be. Does anyone else get that? I feel like columns just hate me these days. Yeah. This family does also actually have a cat. It's a little Bengal, so I do end up putting a little cat feed bowl there, and I think I've already placed a cat litter tray in the bathroom as well. So this is the landscaping that I was kind of talking about. The front here, I kind of thought I could be clever and do a little sort of stone effect fence at the front of the house, but by using foundations and just dipping the greenery in. But as you can see here, I'm trying, and I was just getting so frustrated, and eventually I just end up giving up and putting it all on a foundation, which still actually looked quite cool. I quite like that, but it caused a lot of frustration, and I did actually have to cut a lot of this out just to kind of keep you guys sane and not have to struggle with it. There's a little bit on one side of the little bit that sticks out, and on the other side. I did copy this, the layout of this build from something that I saw on Pinterest. And I did do it pretty much exactly, but it just gave me a really good idea on how to build it. And they kind of had this landscape at the front and that bit popping out. I think they had a fireplace there, but I just thought it was a really, really cool place to stick a desk. I do end up giving them a laptop initially, but I then have to remove it in the end, because I just kind of end up going through the whole build trying to find things that I can delete, because I end up running out of money pretty fast, which is why this build kind of has like a normal roof and not really a flat roof. But I feel like the normal roof did work in this build anyway, so we're all good with that. Just using that basic white flooring pretty much throughout the whole build. I feel like I use this white flooring in pretty much every single one of my builds. But you know what? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's how I feel about that floor. I feel like it just works with everything. I put in this sort of greyish wallpaper in the main living room. I wish we had a colder grey in The Sims, but this one actually does feel quite nice and it's quite homely, so I'm happy with that. I end up bringing in a lot of those natural wood elements from the front of the house, as well as the stone in the kitchen as well, which I feel like works pretty well in this build. It just makes it a little bit more fun in a way. And we're on to the lighting, which I always end up doing at the end of the build, just because I like using those spotlights to kind of light it up so I can see what I'm doing and what colours everything are. And then I end up going back in the end and trying to find some other lighting to stick in the build. And at this point now, I end up running very, very low on money. So you can see that I've deleted the laptop there. I end up deleting a little bit more stuff. Just to kind of try and make it all within budget, because I felt like it for a starter home, if I just added like 5k on it, it would feel like I was cheating a little bit. And I did want to create something that one of these days I'll actually be able to do a build without my dogs barking in the background. But today is not one of these days. So as I was saying, one of these days, was I saying one of these days? I can't even remember what I was saying. I've lost my train of thought. But basically, I just wanted to create a house that if you guys did download it, you could kind of move a family in here straight away. I won't be uploading the people that are in this family, mainly because for a lot of the time, I end up getting Sims off the gallery and then just giving them a little makeover. And I always forget who I grab the Sims off, mainly because I just kind of go on what's popular right now and just grab a family that would suit my build. Anyways, fun fact there. Next time I'll actually try and credit it, the person that actually created the Sims, if I do end up including them in some of the screenshots, which is something that I've started to do recently. I'd like to know your opinion on that. Do you like seeing Sims in the screenshots doing stuff or not? I feel like it does make the build look a little bit cool, but I don't know if that's necessary, if it clutters the screenshots up. So yeah, leave me a comment down below on what you think of that. That would be cool. Thanks. Having a little issue with the roof here again. Roofs and Sims, just it's a bit of a pain. But it worked out in the end. It looks fine. I've given it that metal roof sort of thing just to make it feel a little bit more modern and such. Trying to play that fun game of try and sort of see what objects I swap out to save some money. To end up getting rid of that built-in wardrobe. If you do end up playing this, I think it's worth putting it back in because it does look a little bit better than what I did there. But we'll have to make do with what we can. Mainly just because I wanted to build that little flat roof on the non-chimney bit, and I had no money for that. So I ended up just putting this chest of drawers in from Get Famous, which I feel like works quite well in that build. And then I remembered about this plant as well. Love that plant, by the way. I think it looks absolutely awesome. And in a second here, we're actually coming up to the end of the build. So we'll be moving on to the screenshots. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Also follow me on Instagram. That would be great. And check out the rest of my videos. Until next time, bye.